the BIM Paradox: fear of change rather than fear of existing risks. The natural reflex of organizations: protecting the existing model. When a company starts a BIM transformation journey, the initial reaction is rarely technical. It is primarily organizational and psychological. The first questions usually are: will we lose productivity? Will the teams adapt? Could the project face delays? Is the deployment cost justified? Do we really need to change our processes, tools, or governance? In other words, organizations tend to evaluate mainly the risks created by the change itself. This reaction is natural. Existing processes are familiar. Teams have established habits. Responsibilities are already defined. Current tools create an illusion of control. Even when these processes are inefficient, they remain comfortable because they are known. The real blind spot: risks already existing before BIM. The problem is that many organizations fail to properly assess the risks already embedded. Long before BIM is introduced, projects often already suffer from information loss, lack of traceability, and document duplication. Late coordination, design errors discovered during construction, inconsistencies between disciplines, and absence of data governance. Rework-related cost overruns and excessive dependency on informal communication. BIM does not create these risks, it exposes them. And it is precisely this new level of visibility that often generates resistance. BIM as a risk mitigation framework. BIM should not be presented merely as a technological revolution, but as a framework for industrial risk control. This shift in perspective is essential. Without BIM, risks remain hidden until construction or operations. With BIM, risks become visible much earlier in the project lifecycle, and a visible risk becomes measurable and manageable. It becomes governable and therefore controllable. BIM contributes to clash reduction and interface management, decision traceability, document consistency, data quality, and multi-stakeholder coordination. Why resistance is often political rather than technical. In many organizations, resistance to BIM is not truly about the tools. It comes from the fact that BIM standardizes practices, makes responsibilities more visible, and highlights quality gaps. BIM imposes shared governance and reduces organizational ambiguity. In other words, BIM increases transparency. And every increase in transparency inevitably impacts existing balances of power, information control, and local autonomy. Resistance is therefore often an organizational protection mechanism rather than a technological issue. The hidden cost of non-BIM. One of the most common mistakes is to calculate only BIM deployment costs and licenses, but rarely do we calculate construction rework cost, coordination failures, and project delays. In large infrastructure and railway projects, these hidden costs often far exceed the cost of BIM implementation itself. My conclusion? BIM does not eliminate risk. It shifts the moment when risk becomes visible, and this anticipation is precisely where its industrial value lies. The real question is not, what risks are we taking by changing, but rather, what level of risk are we accepting by maintaining methods no longer capable of managing modern complexity?